So, of course, we always try to encourage people to prepare ahead of time and to know what they're supposed to do and make as many plans as they can for burial before the time comes. And people are, of course, very emotional at the moment of death, and so it's better to get all that done ahead of time. So we try to guide them right from the beginning if they need to, just to hear the words, well, you have to call the funeral home for them to come and pick up the body. And then we'll go from there, picking out a plot. Many times there's a death and people haven't made all those arrangements. So we have a cemetery committee here at Beth Shalom, and we're blessed by having plots that are in 2 different sites. And our cemetery committee was really established by Sidney Colon. And when a certain number of them are sold to our congregants or other Jewish people and we need one, we're instructed to buy more. So that's the first thing. We put them in touch with our cemetery committee, and we've had several leaders over the years, and they'll help them through that process. And often our leader of the cemetery committee offers help for them too, and guidance, how to communicate with the cemetery, with the funeral home, and so we try to get those first steps going, and then they'll come back to us and ask questions about the actual funeral date, time, and how that process goes from there.
Yeah, but I would take also a step before your loved one dies, right? So oftentimes, if somebody isn't affiliated with the community, so the Jewish community, meaning if you don't belong to a congregation and you don't have a relationship with a local clergy member, those moments could end up being fraught in terms of knowing what to do next and identifying like who's going to work with you and what kind of rabbi you would want to work with. So I would highly encourage people who are moving to the community to find your local rabbis, your local congregations, because it is very meaningful to the family and also to the clergy and to the community to know the people that we're burying and to know the families who are grieving. And so there's strength in community, and there's a closeness and a bond that maybe some families don't realize how vital that could be, or how important that connection could be at the time of loss and the time of mourning. So when we are called at the end of someone's life, even if they're in the hospital or in hospice or they're at home, even at that point, the rabbis can begin to build a relationship with the families and with the loved one who is passing, and that helps also with the logistics of the funeral, just kind of to get a sense of maybe even having that conversation of what's going to happen next and who's going to be there for my family and how do we go through the mourning process. So that is one of my recommendations, is trying to build those relationships with the local congregations when you even learn maybe that a loved one is sick, or even before that, in the healthy days, in the the good and the easier days, to seek out your congregation, to build a relationship with the clergy, so that at the time of passing there is a little bit more of a softer transition.